So, okay, I'm already recording, but obviously I'm gonna edit out all the fluff from the beginning
Yep, yep,
as
yep.
necessary. Do you have? I never actually found the doc with the all the
Here,
drafts.
let me go ahead and link that to you real quick. Give me a second.
Yeah, yeah, real nice. Cause I may as well like start thinking about prep as we're going through
You might as
these
well. I mean,
drafts.
who knows? Let me get the specifically the sheet with all the rosters real quick.
While you do that, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce the people to the UBL. So I've talked about the UBL in some videos in the past that nobody watched because they were Zelda videos, and you know how any game other than Pokemon does on this channel. Well, no, that's kind of a lie. There's been a couple games like Twilight Princess did reasonably well. Um, I guess Breath of the Wild, like the real like bulk of the hype died down by the time I got to playing it, so that was why. So the UBL is a little draft league that our Facebook group uh yeah, our Pokemon Facebook group that we admin or we help admin. It's called Pokemon Battle and Trade Community. We've got over 40,000 members. We've been here a long time, ever since the very beginning of sixth generation, sixth. That's it.
Yeah, that's about right. My goodness, that was so long ago. What the
Yeah, like
heck?
2013. I came around like the year after, but the group's been
Yeah,
around for a
that's about
while.
right.
And yeah, like I know, like Facebook is it's pretty outdated. It's for old people. Like that's really the only reason I use it. But we got our
What? No, it's
old,
not. Hello?
huh?
No, that's not out of date. Hello? What?
Well, not out of date, but like it's kind of dead like, compared to other social media platforms. Like that's the general consensus among people.
I suppose, yeah. I guess among the younger generation.
Like as I think about it more and more, the only reason I use Facebook now is like to talk to you guys and like the BNT guys. We have our own little community, and we got a draft league going. Um,
Oh yeah.
we got members, we got other admins, and so the draft for season 3, which is the one that I started participating in, um, the draft picks for that have just ended, and we're gonna go ahead and kind of just take a look at each other's drafts, some prominent players. We're not gonna go through every single one, I don't think. Maybe we'll go over a battle at the end if we're feeling it. So okay, we got the doc right here.
Yeah, so I just linked you this sheet that had the draft and then the actual rosters are towards the bottom if you
Oh,
scroll down a
gross.
bit.
Why is Internet Explorer still my default on this laptop? I need to change
Oh,
that.
well, that is much unfortunate. That's very unfortunate.
Yeah, it's just that the ones on the side are gonna get cut a little bit. I'll just have to minimize for that. Nah, I'll just keep it minimized and be scrolling.
Yeah.
It just might be a little bit hard on the eyes. Let me just see if I can
Anyways,
fix that.
yeah, which roster are you looking at the moment?
I'm trying to find. Well, it also only does it say the name of the person of the captain?
It doesn't have the name from what I can tell. It just has the team.
That's unfortunate. Any particular roster you're interested in looking at first?
Let's start with yours actually. Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. Let's start with yours.
All right, so we got the Arlington Azumarill over here.
Yeah,
So,
I honestly think it's a really solid roster. I think you drafted pretty well, especially from the beginning. I think, well, it was pretty hilarious. Like during the draft, there was a certain individual that was raging like mad because
oh, I sniped a whole bunch of people because I
you
was
sni- well, I
third.
mean, you sniped me too, to be fair, but
All right, so this
I
is
had a backup plan, but wow.
yeah, the dog's a little bit obnoxious. I'm gonna go ahead and just like highlight. So I'm the Arlington Azumaros. That is my team. These are my picks. Let me just scroll down a little bit, get to the bottom picks. People can see that. Oh God, Internet Explorer. All right. So now, okay, that's the. I can actually see the entire from Tyranitar to Stoutland. That's my draft.
Yep, that's correct.
Anything specific you're curious about? Like, I did make quite a few picks that are more unorthodox because I did have like 20 points to spare. I could have drafted another tier 4, but I didn't.
Um, I mean, I think it's pretty straightforward. I mean, you got a lot of options here. I mean, I think you have like your two tier ones. If you notice the numbers there, like the two 180 mons or the tier ones,
Yeah,
the
just
tier
like
two.
GBA.
Yeah, yeah. So like the those numbers kind of denote different points that you have a budget to draft with. I would say your tier ones are like two of the most flexible mons that you can use in the draft format. Like Tyranitar, as we know from the many years that it's been in OU, like you can run so many different things on it. Um,
Yep.
It has like one of the deepest move pools. Like, yeah, it just does a lot
Got
in
that
one
stealth
slot.
rock.
It's yeah, it's just you can it can be a rocker, it could be a banded user, you can use it for a scarfer, you can dragon dance up, you and it's got a lot of coverage moves that can like hit just about anything you really want it to.
Yeah, and
And
oh, go ahead. Were you finished
but
or?
yeah, like I mean, I think like it's incredibly flexible, and that like I actually I actually mentioned during the draft is like you have Zard Y and you have Tyranitar, like you have
Yeah,
weather
boy.
control, and it's like two of the scariest things that you don't want to switch into. Like there was a time I remember in like Oras OU when when I wanted to get back into singles, I played with the Zard
The
Y
Zard Y,
Banded
yeah.
Tyranitar combo. Oh my god, it was so good. It just blasted things to pieces. So yeah, if anything, I feel that would be kind of the main things to look out for. But at least in terms of looking at other rosters, like Mew is the most flexible mono in the game period, just because it can learn everything.
Yeah, that was my third pick. I'm surprised nobody picked it
I'm
before me.
surprised. I'm surprised they let you have Mew, but
They let me
hey,
have Mew and Zard Y, like three. I actually kind of misdrafted. I mean, this is my first time doing draft league. I really shouldn't have picked Greninja second. Like I didn't know that you couldn't use Protean. I knew you couldn't use Battle Bond.
oh god, Battle Bond. Oh my god, dude, Greninja 100% would have been like top five pick. Oh
Yeah,
my god,
it'd be like
it
tier.
would have been disgusting.
It would at least been tier one. I couldn't like I didn't think like oh, you told me that you couldn't run Battle Bomb, but it still seemed kind of strange that it'd be tier two. But then I learned you can only use Torn Greninja, which uh
It's still not
it's
terrible.
still not terrible. Yeah, it's got the spikes.
You got spikes and you got water and dark stab. Like, who cares?
And for my team especially,
You
water
have
resist.
you have water priority.
That's true too.
That's actually viable, unlike when Greninja first came out, when Water Shuriken was just garbage.
Yeah. So the mentality behind the team, like Tyranitar as the first pick, really allowed me to sort of be flexible later on because if you notice, my team is not very heavily physical outside of Tyranitar, and that's because T-Tar can just trap any special walls anyway, so that Manectric, Exeggutor, Zard Y can just run over the opposing team. Greninja just run over after you get that pursuit damage.
Yeah, and I think what's also cool, especially with like the later picks that that you invested into, I think the notables, at least from my eyes, would be let's see. So Executor and Stoutland are two mods that you can use interchangeably to abuse your weather, whether it be sun, whether it be sand, which I think was
Right.
pretty solid. Um, Kabutops is the one mod I'm like a little. It was a little bit interesting. I think you drafted it. Does it learn Rapid Spin? I
I
forget.
thought you would ask about that, and I was kind of
I was actually
like,
a little bit curious, like why Kabutops? But
so my mentality behind Kabutops was indeed like, because I got sniped twice in a row. I was initially going to draft Cloyster, and then after that, after somebody took that, um, like my draft placement was actually kind of unfortunate because being third in the draft means that there was a huge period in which I was not doing anything. Like I got two
yeah,
pretty quick picks and then just a and then I just got nothing for a good while. I think you were in a similar position because you
yeah.
were
I was last pick because last pick, and I basically had like
last
I
and first.
oriented my. It was like it's like the 1-2 punch. That's personally what I really like when I draft like fantasy football, for instance.
Yeah,
But
because you were the champion of season two. Let's just
yeah,
mention
I
that
was a
right
champion in
now.
season 2, and that's a whole nother story in of itself. Because I
Hmm.
basically took over someone's SPL stall team. But anyway,
Oh right, yeah, he came in like somebody dipped. I don't know what the situation was that he
yeah, I
took
don't know what
over the
happened either.
team
But
and he
someone left the
won.
team, and then they asked me for help. I'm like, okay, sure, why not? And I was like, oh wait, this team is like semi one dimensional, but it's pretty effective, I guess.
Okay, so we got off topic there. We were talking about Kabuto. So I got sniped with Cloyster, and then I was gonna take Blastoise, and then someone sniped me there again. And then the only other like, and I had to. It was in my game plan to draft another tier three, which is the 100 points. And since I was already going for a very offensive team, I thought Kabutops complemented my team in that the only other weather type that really threatens me right now is like I figured it would be a decent counter pick against rain because it got Swift Swim of its own, and it's
Mm-hmm.
pretty strong, pretty offensive. It
Mm-hmm.
gives me an alternative rock stab outside of Tyranitar, and it's got the rapid spin as well. And it can also set up rocks. It's got priority. There was like another reason that I'm forgetting.
Oh shoot, this thing gets access to liquidation now. Uh-oh.
Oh yeah,
that's
too.
scary.
Yeah.
That's kind of scary.
So in general, I thought it'd be a solid niche pick in case somebody decided to bring Rain against me. In case I really wanted to use Rapid Spin, because like you can see my team, it's not as hazard heavy as I imagined at first. But like Greninja's got spikes, Mew, T-Tar, and Kabutops will all have Stealth Rock. And so sometimes defog is not that optimal. And so Kabutops was pretty much the last good spinner available to me. And it has some offensive pressure.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, the only thing that's a little bit middling of it is the speed, obviously, but I think...
And the typing is not the best
Yeah,
thing.
the typing's not... Yeah. But, I mean, I think for the purpose, especially when it's a late round picks, you're not really searching for the centerpieces of your team, obviously. I mean, you're looking for guys that are going to contribute to like different matchups here and there to give you options. And I think Kabutops provides that for you despite getting sniped twice of two other rapid spinners.
Like I kind of
it would have been ridiculous if they let you have Cloyster though. Oh my god.
Yeah, that would have been the ideal like offensive rapid spinner pick because it's also a win con. And that was my mentality in picking Exeggutor and Stoutland later. As well as the Blade.
Yeah, Doublade was that was the mon that you sniped me up because I was looking for a steel type, and having the ghost typing would have been cool too. But I mean, I had alternative plans anyway. But
yeah, that was a little later on in the draft. I figured that was like initially I wasn't even gonna draft a Blade first. I was gonna draft all the other stuff. Like I had Stoutland in mind from the very beginning, since obviously nobody was gonna let me have Excadrill. Like I kind of expected that from the beginning. Somebody took that from me immediately.
Of course, it would be Phil who was salty that you stole
Tyranitar,
and I stole Mega Tyranitar.
Oh right, you did.
Yeah,
Savage.
I stole Mega Tyranitar.
Well, that was his fault though, because he was concerned with sniping. Like Excadrill was his first pick, right?
No, he first picked Celesteela.
Oh, that's right. And then I gave you a chance to take...
Yeah, he went. Let me look at his picks.
I mean, that was his fault because you were last.
Yeah, he went Celesteela. Celesteela, and then I'm not sure when he realized Tyranitar got snatched. Probably, actually, I think he realized
because I was third.
Yeah, he realized it right around his pick. So then he took Excadrill, and how far did it go before I took Mega
Well, we can look at his draft as well, but
yeah, he could have taken Mega Tyranitar at third pick, but he didn't. He took Gyarados, and I took Mega Tyranitar. He got so salty. It was so funny.
I got lucky. Like I took my Mega pretty late, like fourth pick, and I got a pretty good one.
Yeah, I mean Zard Y has definitely seen better days in OU, but I mean I think it's still a really threatening mon just because of just how much offensive firepower it has.
It's honestly kind of unfair in draft because it's so matchup oriented that Zard Y can just really shine, and if it doesn't have a good matchup, you just don't bring it.
Yeah,
or like you have the matchup, ooh.
And you can literally give it like, I mean, it has a lot of options in coverage.
Yeah,
too.
Do you have any other questions as to like my picks?
I mean, it's pretty straightforward overall. I mean, I think Manectric offers you an electric immunity and another special attacker.
Flygon's pretty flimsy because of the ice weakness. That's another reason I have Kabutops switch into ice moves. Or rather, like stab ice moves primarily.
Yeah, I mean, but stab ice is like not.
It's not really a thing.
Most common. I mean,
what coverage ice?
Someone did draft Weavile actually, yeah, Inglewood and Incineroar's Franklin, he drafted Weavile pretty late, so that's a little scary, but
yeah. Whimsicott's got that memento to open up win conditions.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's
like the Blade and Kabutops, they both have priority and Swords Dance. That's pretty notable.
Yeah, and you also I'm trying to remember what
Mew
other
can
thing.
be a win con as well.
Yeah, you can, and also priority defog, lol.
Oh yeah, that too. Is that another defog mon? Defog really opened up in Ultra Sun and Moon.
Yeah, that's crazy considering previously it was just a limited fourth gen HM. But
I'm trying to look for your draft now.
mine's a little bit lower. Pittsburgh and Polions and the
Oh yeah, and then like any questions? I forgot about the Z moves. I have 3 Z captains, which is actually it seems to be pretty rare because I have both of my tier fives as Z moves.
Yeah, if anything, that's pretty smart. I didn't really think about Z Captain all that much when I was
Hmm.
drafting, but
So
meh, that's what it
you
is.
were
So mine
the
has the Tapafini team.
Tapufini. Oh yeah, here you are, the Pittsburgh and Polion. So let's. I actually haven't looked at your roster very well. So you got Tapufini, you got the Volcarona, pretty standard 2 tier 1s in a row. Get those out of the way.
Yeah, I figured might as well get the 1-2 punch in.
Damn, you had a tier 3 really late. You got the
Yeah,
Shaman.
Shaman was one of the mons that really came through for me like
Yeah, you did have it
last
last time.
season. It was Yeah, if anything, it was actually because of you that I was able to really use Shaman really well because Shaman had access to a lot of really cool stuff. I mean, obviously, Seed Flare is the most noteworthy move where you just basically blast something with
Hmm.
a really powerful grass type attack, and then is that you have the cheapness of
Right
reducing
here.
their SPDF is so funny.
It's also
But
got a surprising amount of coverage, which I told you
it
about.
does, yeah, like literally everything Shaman Sky knows. Regular Shaman learns it too. Air
Yep.
Slash, Earth Power, any
Dazzling Gleam.
hidden power. Yeah. I think the coolest part of it, my favorite part of the way I used Shaman last season, and I absolutely will use Shaman this season too, is rest because rest allows it
Right,
to
rest natural cure.
recover all of its HP back, and then I switch it out, and because of natural cure, it will lose the sleep status, which is awesome, absolutely amazing.
So, what was your thought process behind how you were going to support Volcarona? So, you got the him on top right there. But I'm trying to look for. Does Gliscor learn defog? Oh, right, it does, doesn't it?
It does indeed. Yeah. So
And
great
Tapu
question.
Fini as
So
well.
yeah. I think the very first thing was like Volcarona was a fun Pokemon to play around with, and I figured right from the get go it was going to be my Z Captain, just because
Right, yeah, very solid.
Volt can run like
Z
several
Psychic.
different like Z Psychic, Z Bug, Z Fire.
Mm-hmm.
There's all kinds of options it can do, and it's just a huge threat, and it has a lot of great covers options. And I figured it would be a very fun mon to build around.
Yeah.
Tapu Fini was kind of the first one I kind of went for, just
It's
because.
kind of odd. Tapu Fini is not like something you think of nowadays as like top tier threat.
Yeah, it's not like it definitely has a little. I mean, it doesn't quite have the same glamour as the other Tapus, but I felt that having terrain control would be just good anyway
That's fair. You
if I
were
were to play
last,
against it.
so
Yeah,
were all the other Tapu state right? Because Tapu Lele's banned. Yeah, I forgot
Lele
about
is
that.
banned. Coco was like
Per-
first pick.
yeah, Coco was first. It was
Coco was
Coco,
first
Lando,
pick.
Titar.
Bulu went like 2 rounds before me, but I
Hmm.
wasn't really thinking about Bulu that much.
That's another Pokemon that doesn't strike me as like first pick.
Yeah, I mean, Bulu and Fini are not like first pick, like
More so
top
Fini.
first round pick guys, but they're like very very solid utility mods. Like Tapu Fini, the main thinking of that was it's the beginning of a fire water grass core.
Okay,
Um,
traditional team building.
so there was that, and Fairy allowed me to kind of go down the fantasy core too of Dragon Steel Fairy to kind of go
Hmm.
down that route too.
I kind of
Um,
take that back a little bit about Tapu Bulu because that pick actually did make sense in the context of the other picks because it does well against Coco, Lando T, and Titar.
yeah,
So maybe saying because you said that it was like 2 picks before yours, so that was pretty late.
yeah, it was 2 picks
So
before
given the
me. Yeah,
context, it might have made sense.
yeah, and I think basically I felt that Fini and Volcarona would give me a lot of options in terms of to build around stuff.
Okay.
Like I had like probably like 5 different megas that I was thinking about um to to add to the team, but I think the two that I was debating with the most that I was going to take at my third and fourth pick, or third or fourth pick was it was between Tyranitar and Diancie actually.
Oh,
Funny
that
enough,
anti-mega. Yeah, because
they
the
were
anti's got
they.
that magic bounce.
Yeah, for me, magic bounce to help deal with rocks. I don't think there's any problem with stacking fairy types. Honestly, I don't think there's a problem with
No,
that.
fairy's a good type.
Fairy is just so good of a type, and water fairy and rock fairy are both pretty decent. And I mean, but then I swapped over to Mega Tyranitar for a couple reasons. One, I was a little bit scared of things like Blacephalon because
That's true.
Ghost is hurts. Period. And I also wanted some fun with because I figured, hey, two setup win cons. I think that's just fun. To me, I just felt like it was fun.
Let me see who got
Um,
Blacephalon, because that was a really early pick too.
yeah, it was a pretty early pick. Blacephalon was a pretty high pick. I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blacephalon was pick nine overall.
Oh, okay. I didn't find it, but I'm just gonna go back to your thing. That's how you know I don't
Yeah,
play Yusum, because
I
I
just
forgot
scrolled
about
up.
that.
So right now in hindsight, I feel like it was kind of a mistake to draft a Moongus here. It was actually in hindsight is a slight mistake, for a couple reasons.
Okay.
Number one, it doesn't resist ground, um, which would help Tyranitar.
Well, you have Gliscor, and you got Bronzong later.
Yeah. No, I figured that I dealt with that later, but the thing was, Spore and Misty Terrain don't quite work super well together.
That's
That was
another thing.
that was a pretty big mistake. I should have drafted Tangrowth here, basically.
So there were better options, basically.
Like Tangrowth was the other option. I personally, I guess I zeroed too much in on the Spore aspect.
Well, you don't have to. Like, that's the great thing about having a bigger roster, is that you don't have to bring a Moongus with Tapu Fini if your strategy is going to be Spore or something.
That's true, but to be fair, in my first battle, I did bring both, and I was like, "Ooh,
Oh,
this is
yeah,
kinda
let's talk
awkward."
about that for a second. I wasn't going to bring it up,
we'll get
but...
to we'll get to that one later, but
Well,
yeah,
I'll tell
we'll
you
get
what happened, because I warned this man, and he didn't listen. But okay, we'll move on from that.
anyways, but yeah, I mean, bulky grass type, regenerator, what was nice.
In
Um,
general, you drafted pretty bulky towards the latter end. You got your little offensive core, and then you drafted bulk. Well, just like last season, you kind of had that dumped on you, but you figured, it's not as bulky as last season, but because you
yeah,
got
it's
to pick it.
not as Fatmon oriented because
Right.
last year I had Quagsire, Toxapex,
Well, he didn't pick them, but yeah, that's
Chansey,
basically Chansey.
Chansey, Celesteela, and Mega Sableye.
Okay, who let that draft happen, bro? That's what I
I
want to
don't
know.
know. I don't know, man.
Okay, one last question about this. What did you think Elysopod would contribute to this?
So Galissopod, it was one of the mons when I was scouting low tier mons, just in terms of like what do these things really provide for a team?
Mm-hmm.
Because that was really the question. Galissopod to me offered a few things. At least in the typing realm, it was a ground resist. That's one.
Okay.
It's another water type to add in, but I think the main thing that I really wanted to have fun with it was priority. Lots of priority. Because if you look at the team, it's not that fast.
That's true.
So if anything, that might come back to bite me later.
Well, you have Glycopod is not your only priority. You've got the Technotop. You can run that.
Yeah. Technotop is another one, but I think Galissopod definitely makes its name for first impression.
But yeah, your team is pretty like it's really slow actually. Now that I'm looking at it,
it's a pretty slow team, and I think if I were to draft again, I would probably have done it a little bit differently.
mm-hmm.
Like in hindsight, but I still think it's a pretty decent team. I have a few things to kind of work with it. I might look into like doing trades and stuff like that to maybe change things around.
Oh right, that
Or
hasn't
maybe with
happened yet. I
the
forgot.
Yeah, because I think from now to week 2, we can do different transactions with the free agent pool. So the team might change a bit, but I mean, as of right now, I think it's pretty decent. But I think there are some holes that I can probably address, which I think the game 1 kind of got me thinking a little bit more in regards to that, in terms of like building with it and whatnot.
Well, okay, you could have won that game, but you decided to try and.
I did some pretty dumb stuff in game 1. Let's be honest.
Well, we can look at that replay when we're done with At least a couple more teams. So Z Captain, Volcarona, pretty straightforward there. Let's see. So I'm trying to look for Phil next. We can get to my opponent
Phil
in a
was
minute.
Tauntaun Tyrannosaurus. If you scroll down one row,
Oh, I got it.
one
Yeah.
row.
Celesteela, Drill, Gyarados. Ooh. I actually didn't really know a
Gyarados.
whole lot about his draft either. I wasn't paying too much attention until I got tagged. This is a good practice for me as well.
Celesteela, Excadrill, Gyarados, Kyurem, Mega Gardevoir, Galvantula, Virizion, Alolan Marowak,
Okay,
Sneasel,
Sneasel.
Archeops, Gigalith. Ooh.
He was really... Oh, well, he got a Sandstorm in the end. He got the Gigalith. I'm surprised he didn't prioritize that more. Did he just not know about the Sandstream Gigalith?
I feel like he just, I guess there was no point for him. He could have just taken it.
He
There
had
was no
Drill.
point for him to take it earlier. There was no
Yeah,
point.
that's true. Who else was going to take it, right?
Nobody. No
Yeah.
one's going to take it. So
That was my
he
mentality
could've
with Stoutland.
Yeah, so I think like you, he just got his sand guy very late. Looking at Phil's roster, I mean, let's see.
I'm trying to decipher, what his game plan is, because as far as win conditions go, he's got like Gyarados, Virizion
He's got
potentially, Drill.
Sand, Drill and Sand.
Let's see, where's his hazard control? Because he's got the Galvantula, he's got a lot of Rock Weeks. Oh, you got the Drill, yeah.
Yeah, Drill's a spinner. Yeah, but
Some
does
webs.
Archeops get defog? It probably does.
What?
Archeops get defog? Maybe.
Yeah, but I wouldn't really use it for that.
Well, yeah, obviously not. But I'm just saying, like,
It does.
in a pinch, he could use it. Sneasel's a very interesting pick. I mean,
I kind of like it. It's like miniature Weavile. It can
It's
still
like-
knock stuff off. It's like Pawniard kind of.
yeah, I guess. I'm just not sure. Wait, how's its stats? Let me look at it.
Sneasel's got
Oh,
like
actually-
115.
Oh, it's not bad.
speed.
The
Yeah,
speed is
no,
pretty
it's-
good. Huh.
It's pretty much like miniature Weavile. Like obviously
Yeah,
the
yeah,
ice
it's like-
shards are not going to be very strong, but it's fast and it can still take out those dual weak ice. I think it's
And
a
it's
good
dark
pick
coverage.
for lower
It's not
tier.
a bad pick at all. I think it's pretty, considering how late it is too. And I think Archeops is going to be probably the dark horse of this team because that thing hurts when it.
yeah.
That thing hurts when
I could see a really cool like lead set he could do of that.
like that. Like
on the pressure
Archeops
early.
is gonna hurt. Like obviously when it doesn't have defeatist, but when it's oh god, like acrobatics on that thing.
That's a good pressure lead. And then the webs is what's really attracting my attention because one of Archeops' main dangers is like stuff outspeeding it or Scarfers and stuff like that, as well as Pokemon like Excadrill, Gyarados, Kyurem. I think he did a really good job complementing his webs.
Yeah, and also it helps Gardevoir too. Gardevoir really loves the utility
The
of
webs.
the webs because I mean base 100 is not slow by any means, but I think
But that's
the
gonna get
webs just
outsped.
helps so much. If any, yeah, it's I like the draft. Regular Kyurem is interesting. I think
I like that pick. I think it's
I don't
a
know.
really underrated Pokemon.
it definitely is. It definitely was like it's not like the first mon that catches your eye when you look at the roster, obviously, but
I'm surprised he
Oh.
picked it. I think he picked it a little bit too early. That would be a pick I'd go for like in the middle, around like where Virizion is. I would have
Yeah.
drafted Galvantula way earlier. I'm
yeah, I
surprised
thought
he got lower
Galvantula
for
was
that.
gonna go way earlier.
Like, were people picking like? I think people really sleep on webs, like Shuckle, Galvantula, all of them dogs.
Yeah, I think so. I get and Galvantula
Smeargle.
will actually, yeah, and Galvantula will actually contribute offensively,
That's true. Yeah.
unlike those other options. Um, other
one-
than that, I mean, it's interesting. It's a very interesting, and then actually, Alolan Marowak can definitely benefit from webs too. I mean,
A little bit, yeah.
a little bit. I mean, it's still pretty slow, but it
It's
can
the
still
wall
do.
breaker.
It still hits like a truck. So
That thing will
Um,
definitely. I think it complements Gyarados very well, especially because it's the nice Z captain.
yeah. Gyarados is a Z captain. Virizion is another Z captain. So it can like I like the Virizion as well too because Virizion has a lot of like nice coverage options. Like you have the grass, the fighting, and rock and other stuff like that. Yeah, I like the team. It's pretty nice. I guess the question is how will is the question is more of how is he going to use it.
I do have some concerns about his hazard game because he's got a lot of rock weeks. Like I'm just noticing this. Like Drill's a good spinner, yes, but um, like he's gonna
But if
be.
drill goes down, oof.
It's not just if drill goes down. It's like what does he prioritize? Because he wants to get his own hazards up too, but hazards on his side hurt his team a lot more than some of the others we've seen so far. Like I feel like it's really gonna trip up his pace if he's worried about taking 25% with like half his bonds to get any kind of offensive momentum going. And also, he doesn't really have a whole lot of like disincentives like Defiant or spin blockers to keep his hazards on the field. I don't think he really. Well, he has Marowak Alola, I guess. But
Yeah,
I feel like that's
block
slow
spin, but yeah.
I feel he should have taken Gengar. Honestly, I'm looking at it on the next draft. That would have done wonders for his team. A nice Gengar, or maybe like even just like a Pawniard instead of a Sneasel. Got Defiant. Bop. Use Defog, you get buffed.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, yeah,
and he needs the webs. Like he doesn't have a whole lot. He has fast Pokemon like Archeops, but he doesn't have like blitzers. Like I have Greninja, for example. That's over 120 base speed. You need at least like one Pokemon that just really overkills the speed game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the case. I think, but I think the webs helps, and I think the drill and sand will help as well. I mean,
so it's not a perfect draft. Like I would have. He actually has Bisharp too. The other guy, who's German Metachamps? Is that Shield?
Laurie. That's Laurie.
That's Lauren.
Lauren, I think. Yeah, Lauren's his name. Yeah.
He got both Bisharp and Gengar.
Oh god, that's gonna be scary.
That is scary as hell. Let me see what is his hazards though. It's just Steelix though. Hold on. Well, he has the magic bounce. He has Espeon.
Well, if we want to be very technical, can't Bisharp set up?
Bisharp, yeah. Well, Bisharp. See, like if I was gonna pick Bisharp, I would have at least had some spikes, bro. That's all I'm saying. Well, he has Ariados. Oh shit. He has webs too. He has the Ariados. I didn't even consider that. Damn it, we're moving over to a completely different roster. That's a good roster, just on site.
He has spin too.
Yeah, he has blast. He took Blastoise from me. Fuck.
Actually, one thing that's interesting about
I like his roster.
He has defog on Zapdos too.
Yeah, he's got the Zapdos, which that's probably what he had in mind with like Blacephalon.
Yeah, Blacephalon. Yeah, that thing's scary. Oh my god.
Yeah, I really like his draft, and he's got the Blitzer, what I was talking about before.
He's got a Lopunny too. That thing is quick.
Yeah, Lopunny, dude. I would have liked that.
I feel like Mienshao and Lopunny are kind of redundant.
Well, they can kind of work as a redundancy core, mostly because Lopunny has the normal stat.
I guess.
I mean, I kind of did the same. Well, I would say that it is a little too similar because they're both just like it'd be one thing if you had like a bulky fighting type and then the fast sweeper fighting type, like a wall breaker instead of. Well, that's the thing though. Mienshao can be a wall breaker with like reckless, life orb, high jump kick.
That's true.
You can break through some counters like Clefables and stuff. Like the Clefables are not taking that high jump kick well, and then you can just come in with Lopunny later, clean up. It's okay.
Yeah, that's true.
It's okay.
Yeah, but this is definitely a pretty nice draft. He still got what I see here is a lot of speed. Some decent pivots to kind of swap in and out. Like you have your Zapdos, you have your Stoys, and stuff. But yeah, I just feel the hazard options here are definitely on the you have to kind of bring a
Ariados.
not so amazing Mon if you want to bring if anything, that's probably the main thing that I have the main knock I have on this team. But otherwise, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, but going back to Phil's team,
Ghost, 2 Ghosts too. That's pretty.
Yeah,
2
Ghost
so
that's gonna
be scary.
Yeah, I would like to if Phil was on, I'd definitely ask him about if he was paying attention at all at how many rock weeks he was stacking. I guess maybe he just thought Drill wasn't gonna be that reliable, which to be fair, it is, I guess, with Mold Breaker and stuff.
Yeah, but I guess.
So let's see. I'm trying to remember because there's some dudes here I just do not know. Who else from the
Let me
admins is participating this season?
let me go. Let me tab around. Let's scroll up a little bit to
I
um
also do like Verizion as a Z captain on Phil's team.
yeah, for sure. Let's scroll up to your division actually. So Inglewood
Okay.
Incineroars and Washington War Turtles are two other admins. So Washington War Turtles is Patrick, and
Oh yeah. Okay, we can
Inglewood
talk about Patrick.
Incineroars is Franklin. So let's start with Patrick actually. So Patrick's team, let's see. This is
I'm just
interesting.
looking at it for the first time too.
I actually
Garchomp
never looked at his team
first.
either before, but huh.
His
Sean?
drafting philosophy was really standard. Like he just went tier ones, tier two. Like really, it's actually kind of perfect. Look at it. He
It
like went
actually almost
completely in
is. Like
order.
literally like it's very like yeah, like he did not go out of turn in terms of the tiers. Huh. Hmm.
I like the dynamic with like the wait, hold on. I was gonna say something about the. He has like a U-turn thing going on with Rotom, Golbat, and then like Scizor. I
And
guess he's also
Scizor,
got their
yeah.
Manatan as well.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, so
thing with
he definitely has that option. I think some things that I like here, Garchomp is a very flexible mon, in terms of
I don't think it
what he
was
can really.
I don't think it was a first pick Pokemon though. I would have picked Garchomp
Yeah,
like second or third.
I do think that Garchomp probably shouldn't be a first pick, but I mean, he technically has three mons that are like, because like Hoopa Unbound, you can probably argue it's up there. Mega Scizor, you can argue is up there too. So
I'm kind of torn
yeah,
on his Hoopa pick, especially what he picked later. I just don't feel like he's taking advantage of Hoopa's offensive pressure. I mean, as unless he's really gonna run like Scarfed Manatan and Scarf Nylago to clean up, like I guess Sharpedo, he should have done like Mega Sharpedo if he was gonna go with like the Hoopa Unbound round, because Mega Sharpedo is better at cleaning.
yeah,
Then
because I
again,
feel like the
Scizor is
yeah.
kind of good as well.
I mean, Scizor can do his own cleanup too, just because a bullet punch is so good. But
But another thing about his team is that Scizor is kind of pressured into a defog role. Like, he's not handling hazards that well. He's got the Golbat, sure, but it's weak to rocks itself. Um,
yeah, real like Scizor can't. Yeah, Scizor definitely has less flexibility here.
he kind of put himself into a corner by just picking whatever the fuck he like. Towards the end, he kind of just didn't give a fuck. Like he picked Ambipom. Like
Hey,
I,
Ambipom's
no,
you.
dude. Okay, no. I don't care what Pokegame MD says. Ambipom is not a good Pokemon. It's not good in Yu Yu. Aim is just a good
I
player,
know.
and he makes Ambipom work. Like, nah, son.
I mean, to be fair, good players can make a lot of things work.
Exactly, and Joey's a good player, but like, no, Ambipom's not good. He sacks it in like
Uh,
almost every game, but that's another topic.
wait, really?
Oh, I'm not
That's
even
pretty
kidding about
funny.
that. I mean, I haven't watched there's like 30 of those stupid Ambipom videos. I mean, they're not stupid, but like they're obviously like Joey is Joey. Joey's good, but I didn't watch every single one of those
Yeah,
videos. But when I did, he sacked it a lot.
that's kind of funny. I actually haven't been keeping up with him too much.
Uh,
Nihilego and Meloetta as Z captains. That's very interesting. Huh.
um, I guess I don't know. I mean, he could have picked Garchomp as a Z captain. I feel like that. I feel like
Yeah,
Garchomp is
like
the
it.
best Z Pokemon on his team, but I can
Yeah.
respect his choices. Like maybe
But
he wants to
I feel
play.
like his reasoning is that if he could either have just Garchomp as a Z captain, unless he really wants to Z captain Rotom or Golbat.
I mean, why not at that point? Unless you're in a trade.
Yeah, I guess the mentality may be trade, but my thinking he probably just chose the where he can get the most mileage out of the Z points. That's
Z
my
Nilogo
thinking.
makes sense, even if
Not
most of the
yeah,
time.
Neil Lego for that makes sense, but I'm just saying like yeah. So I think that at the end it'll pay off for him. I think, but I'm just like trying to think like what would be his mentality in terms of building. That's
Like his team is not. I don't see any like glaring weaknesses on his team. Um, I can just see situations where he'll have a hard time building momentum because he's not super hazard weak, but not a lot of his like he doesn't have a whole lot of in terms of um like hazard control or just a lot of hazard resistant mons. And on top of that, I'm starting to see like a fighting weakness. Like I feel like a good fighting wall breaker, especially since we came off of that Mienshao roster. I feel like that could do a real number on his team because Golbat can be easily taken advantage of.
Yeah, Golbat will not be is not something you can really depend on. I mean, I guess there's Ghost Rotom, but
I wrote him, yeah.
there's
It's just
Ghost Rotom, which is kind of helps, but
guess
yeah,
it
I
does,
don't think you want to be hinging on your tier 4s to be
tier 5s
helping against like where your tier 5s to be handling like top tier threats of a particular type.
Yeah,
you know?
I just see,
especially like because look at the team right next to him, Keldeo, Mega Medicham.
Yeah, like I just feel like this is a classic case of like, you know, he's having fun with it, and that's fine, but there's some poor planning here. It's like at the very end he realized, oh, I don't have anything to switch into high jump kicks. Like, take out the tier 5s. What's switching into that Medicham? Well, actually, even with the tier 5s.
Tangrowth.
Dude, Tangrowth is there's no way.
Tank Chomp.
No, they get 2 kills, but you don't
know
exactly.
Yeah. It's pretty yeah.
But like, well, take the Keldeo.
I actually thought about first picking Medicham. I actually kind of feel maybe I should have, but
Medicham is strong, bro.
I underestimated Medicham, but well, I guess that's a good segue over to Franklin's team because goodness gracious, Medicham, man, that thing's terrifying.
Franklin's got himself a team. He gave himself a lot of options with his picks. Like he can do like rain archetypes, he can do balance, he can do.
He doesn't have a
stack.
Swift Swimmer.
Huh?
He doesn't have a Swift Swimmer, but I mean,
I don't think he needs it. Like he's got the Torn and the Keldeo.
That's true.
And Pelipper itself is a threat.
It is Torn Eye.
Oh right, I didn't see that. I thought it was Torn.
Yeah, if it was Torn T, it would have been a little bit different. I think I like Torn T better in the slot instead, but
I guess he's got the. I
mean, Torn Eye can still do the same.
Well, no, you're lying. He has Quillfish. Quillfish is a.
Oh, hang on a second. Never mind. That's huh.
Remember that thread in VLP a few days back, saying like that Quillfish is underappreciated. Nah, son, we got the Quillfish right here. I like that Pokemon a lot. I'm surprised it was picked last.
I don't know how I feel about Quillfish, honestly.
No, dude, Quillfish is okay. Like as a
hang on a second. I'm actually looking at what it can do because I actually never actually built around it before.
Like, I mean, I would have considered.
Oh wow! Wait, hang on a second. Whoa! Wait a minute here.
Yeah.
It gets spikes, T spikes.
Yup.
Dual. I mean, you have your liquid. Huh?
It's a liquidation. Yup. It's a Z cap. Oh god, that's a thread. It's a Z move cap.
Wait, shoot. Hang on a second. Oh god, this thing is powerful. It gets Aqua Jet too. Are you kidding me? Wait, whoa!
I told you.
Oh shoot! Wait, it learns Thunder Wave? Are you kidding me?
It has what?
It gets Thunder Wave? Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah, like 50% of things that are good get Thunder Wave.
What?
It has Intimidate and Swift Swim. You can do either route.
Wait, it got Intimidate as a hidden ability? Are you kidding me?
As what?
I did not know Intimidate was its hidden ability.
Yeah. So it actually has some flexibility. It's got some versatility.
Shoot, hang on a second. What? Wait. Uh-oh. We got a problem here.
Yo, I was telling people in VLP, like Quillfish, that's a thing in lower tiers. Like it's got a niche. It's got some purposes. It can. I know Joey used it as like a Swift Swim thing with Z move in one video.
Yeah.
It's got spikes. It's got that liquidation.
Piloswine is a Eviolite version of Mamoswine.
It's actually pretty bulky. Like Piloswine.
Yeah.
The typing's pretty shit to be honest, but it's got the bulk to live the neutral hits. Nice stealth rock. Like even super effective hits that are not stab. It's not gonna bring it down. You can just get up the rocks. So that's a decent pick.
Yeah, he's got like the options are all over the place. Like I feel like his team is gonna be a very like. I'm trying to think of a way to describe it. It's like his team really chips away at you, because like you have the fake out from Medicham, you have Weavile, you have Keldeo. It's like a very I don't know. I'm not super into like the WWE or like any of those like fighting kind of stuff, but it's like he's like the boxer that like gets the punches. Is it Mayweather that does like that thing where he kind of
You just mentioned like two completely different things. Yeah,
I don't
Mayweather is
know.
is pro
It
boxing, bro.
goes to show how much I know about this stuff, but
Yeah, it's
it's
like
like
two completely separate things.
I don't know, man. It's like
Plays the war of a. I don't even see that. Like his
uh,
team is pretty offensive.
he will like punch holes in your roster kind of thing.
Yeah, I can see that. I like
Like
the
what?
I like the muck pick because it can pursuit trap for the Keldeo and like the Pelipper,
Yeah,
uh,
that's true.
even Rotom. So I like that pick.
Hmm.
I also like that.
Ditto is a very interesting grab right there.
I feel like that was mostly filler, but it does keep him from being reverse swept because his team is pretty offensive. Like his team,
Yeah,
I can excuse having some like type holes and stuff because I feel like it puts enough pressure to where that's kind of disregarded.
yeah, I think so.
He just got to pick well.
Cradilly's an interesting one too. I mean,
Well,
you're kind of
that's like a band-aid for like his own rain being used against him because like water resistances. I mean, he does have them, but not in the rain.
yeah.
Yeah, like Mukalolo is not going to be enough in that case. So I understand the Credilli. In
Yeah.
that case, I'm not too hot about that like rock typing. I feel like maybe there could have been a better like storm drain, water immune to pick from. But I don't know. I
Was
don't know what his thought
Gastrodon
process
picked?
was. I understand.
Gastrodon wasn't even picked, but it probably doesn't quite fit his points.
I guess not. Yeah. That
Yep.
Credilli, it probably can use Stealth Rock.
I'm pretty positive it can.
Um,
Yeah, Pillow and Cradilly provide the rock options.
I do appreciate the variety of like priority on his team. Like there's a surprising amount of it. Like Pillow Weavile, Quillfish, Muck. That's a good
Medicham.
amount. Metacham, yeah. It's
Yeah,
there.
you'll have fun with that guy in your division, all right?
Oh yeah, I mean, well that's why I brought Kabutops. It can is it faster than Quillfish? I forget. Kabutops is like 80.
No, I
Oh
don't think
god.
so.
Well, he
Wait, let
better
me
be
check.
bringing Adamant. I'll bring my jolly
Yeah, it's 80.
Kabutops.
Yeah. Kabutops is base 80.
Well,
Quillfish is
Quillfish
base
can't even
85.
Oko it. Kabutops is actually like, well, could it Oko in rain? Quillfish is not that strong. Well, it's the Z move, so maybe. But okay, that's why I brought the Kabutops in part for
All
like
right, man.
niche
But well,
teams like
yeah,
that.
I think your guys' battle will definitely be a treat.
Is there
That
anything
should be
else
fun.
you want to say about this squad that I haven't already, or that we haven't already?
Yeah. I mean, I think otherwise, that's all I really have to say about Franklin's team. I think it'll be fun to see how he utilizes it for sure.
Z Rotom though, I didn't expect that.
Yeah, Z
Z
Rotom,
Tornadus might have been better, don't you think?
maybe. I mean, but what does Tornadus really do outside of the supersonic fly strike?
Inferno Overdrive, all out pummeling, perhaps. That's what I
That's
would think of.
true. Eh,
I don't know. I haven't like Z Rotom Heat seems really odd. I don't know what he had in mind. Maybe he had something really specific.
maybe just like
That's
for
the
a
one thing.
maximum fire blast,
I
fire
guess
EMC.
so, but like Rotom's the kind of Pokemon that like it doesn't have a lot of like offensive versatility, but it has enough. Like it's not the kind of Pokemon you put a Z move on because what it has is already effective enough. Like the Overheat. I guess he really just
Yeah.
doesn't want to be -2. I don't know.
I mean, because -2 can be pretty. Because like getting the stat drops can be definitely a momentum killer, but
I guess. But the things that would take advantage of -2 Rotom would probably take advantage of it anyway, even with the Z move.
that's
Like dragon
probably true.
types and stuff, unless it has HP Ice, in which case like you can't Z move HP Ice.
Yeah, but hmm,
I'm
I
thinking
don't know.
more it might be Z Electric for some reason.
Maybe.
So I actually do want to look at my opponent's team. This is my opponent for week 1 that I'll be playing him tomorrow.
Who are you playing?
Wyoming Wynuts Peter.
Oh, Peter. Okay. Let's check out his team.
Oh
Let's take
god,
a
I'm
look.
scared of his Manaphy, bro.
Oh man, the star of PokeAim's UCL team.
And I'm gonna refrain from really talking in this section because if I want to upload this before I battle Peter, I don't want to give away what I have in mind for him. So I'm not gonna really like mention um like I'll comment on what I think are faults in his team. But of course, like I'm not gonna say like, oh well, for his team I would do this and this because that's probably what I'm gonna do. Anything that
Yeah.
stands out to you about this team, Dan?
Sure. I'll
I'll let you
probably
take the
like
reins.
I'll probably let's see. I mean, I guess the first thing that kind of stands out. I really like what he's doing here with the Altaria, the Mega Altaria Magnezone combo because
Oh right, Drag Mag.
Zone because Altaria definitely wants Steel types removed from the picture, and Magnezone is one of the best for that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I think I like. He's got a lot of pretty fun. Because I think what he's got, I like the Victini for some a bit some nice V creates to
It's
open
versatile.
holes. Yeah, it opens holes for Manaphy and Altaria to really take advantage of. I'm still trying to just trying to think what he kind of is doing with some of the lower picks.
I like
Um,
Heracross and Magnezone as well.
yeah, Heracross is another really fun mon for sure.
Gets rid
I
of a
like.
nice Celesteela for Phil.
Oh yeah, Phil's not listening to this. I bet. Right.
I
Anyways,
don't. It wouldn't matter.
um,
Like I'd be more concerned if they like
yeah.
were in the same division, but I don't
No,
have
I
a
just,
problem
no,
with mentioning that.
I'm just poking fun at Phil if he ever listens.
Dude, Phil, we've ragged on
Um,
him for a while. Well, don't worry. We're gonna get to your battle, and then we'll really get to
uh,
rag on someone other than Phil.
about that.
That
Anyways,
boy got sniped.
Crocodile I think is a pretty fun mon to use in terms of like you have your a stab knockoff, solid ground coverage, and also is a nice rocker option in and of its own.
Can knock off like
Um,
shed shells. That's what I was
mhm.
thinking with that. Heracross can do that too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Was Skarn
Um,
picked?
don't think so. Skarmory is tier one, so yeah, I
Another
think.
pick that I was surprised that didn't make it was Raikou. I thought someone was gonna pick that. I was kind of scared.
Yeah, I think people feel like it was too expensive of a pick.
I guess so. Yeah.
That's my guess. I definitely thought about it, but I was like, I don't know. A tier one? I don't know.
So what were you gonna say about his lower picks?
His lower picks, I'm trying to think what kind of role they really provide for the team.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I kind of have an idea for one, but the others I'm a little puzzled as well. So Valley
I
is
mean,
makes
Garbodor
sense,
provides T spikes, which is fun,
and Spikes.
and spike. Well, he gets spikes too. Are you kidding me?
Yup.
Wow.
You gotta
I
you gotta play some NU, bro.
I don't use like spikes mods all that much, so me
Spikes is overpowered, dude. The Spikes is where it's at. That's why I
wow,
picked the
it
ninja.
gets spikes from Klefki? Are you kidding?
Yeah.
That's so stupid, man.
Even T Spikes
Yeah,
are getting good now.
hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to like Drudagon and Braviary are interesting. I like Braviary for like a like flying coverage. I think that's probably is going to be its main job.
Hmm. I
And
do
another
like the Druddigon pick for like not auto losing to like offensive water and fire types. I think it gets stealth rocks too. So another option for that. You can
yeah,
run like AV maybe to
yeah,
because
that's
like you
definitely
get
a
Altaria,
possibility.
but Altaria is meant to be used more offensively.
The Sudui, I don't actually really know what it does. I'm actually looking at what it can
Well,
do.
Decidueye, I'm kind of confused by that pick too. Like it has a decent Z move, but
It's Grass
I
Ghost,
wouldn't have picked it like that early. It's
Long
tier three,
Reach.
really.
What's Long Reach?
Oh, long reach, that's not a good ability. It's basically you don't get affected by like contact ability, so like iron barbs, for example, but
Iron
Ferrothorn beats it
Barbs,
anyway.
Flame Body, those kind of things.
So I don't know about what he's planning for it in Draft League. I can definitely see some potential, but in standard play, Decidueye is used as like a SD mod with it gets Sucker Punch, but it's also kind of slow, so you're not gonna get like the point of Decidueye is really the Z move. It's pretty powerful, and you use Swords Dance with that, and that's about it. It gets Defog as well, but generally it's
Oh yeah,
considered that the Defog set is bad.
Decidium Z.
Yeah. but it has a good special attack. So I don't know what plans he's got for that in
It's
draft.
it has pretty good offensive stats. 100 and 107.
That's falling behind a little bit. I wouldn't call that fantastic.
It's pretty. It's okay, not fantastic, decent.
So I
Pretty-
mean, I just don't see especially when he has the crocodile for the good. He already has the universal neutral stab, like the dark stab. I'm
I
not
mean,
sure what
Spirit
this
Shackle
UI
is
contributes.
it's a trapping move.
I'm thinking more he needed like a good ground resist, but I don't think Decidueye would have been my first choice.
It's Grass Ghost.
Yeah, I guess, but like, was he
I mean,
before or after me in draft?
Heracross, Decidueye resist.
Oh, Heracross does resist as well. I
But
forgot
yeah,
about that.
I do agree that if I had to pick anything that his team doesn't like, it's Earthquake.
Yeah,
He doesn't like. I mean, obviously he doesn't like it, but he has ways to mitigate of it. Absolutely, he has Intimidate Crook. He's got Braviary, and then those two ground resists.
yeah. So I think his draft is decent. I see the win cons. I see the hazards. I see some synergy. Overall, I also feel his team is kind of slow at base. That's another thing I'm kind of feeling.
Yeah, definitely it's slow. I mean, I can definitely see him using scars on like several of these mods.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a little easier to predict. So
yeah, that's
that's my
true.
only
So
other
I think
concern.
yeah, so I think but he definitely has the options there, and he has the elements of speed control too. But it's definitely not the fastest team. But then again, his team is not slow, unlike mine. Lol.
Hmm. So how many? We've covered a lot now. We've covered what, six
We've covered
rosters?
your whole division. We
My whole
haven't.
division.
Your whole division's been covered. We've covered the other admins and like other teams that like really stood out to us in our eyes.
So we covered you and Phil outside of my division. So
We covered it. We covered like a few others. We covered Lauren. We've covered. Let's see.
oh, we did
Covered,
cover Lauren, yeah, a little bit because
yeah, we
we
covered
went
Lauren
we
because
went off topic.
that
That
Blacephalon
Blacephalon is
caught our
strong.
eyes. um,
I'm trying to find the last. I think the last roster I want to cover for today. Who drafted Lando T? I just want to know.
New York Charizards.
So let's see what he
I
did
think
with that.
that's is that Shield? I think that's Shield.
Yeah, that is Shield.
Huh.
Let's see what he did with this Lando T. Ooh, he's on a roster.
Oh God, Zard X. Oh jeez.
He's got the threat. He's got the Zard X.
He's got Fat Coon.
He's got Suicune. He drafted Gartana. God, nothing but threats in this first half. Fortress. Suicune. I forget. Was that one of the Gartana and Lando both got defog? Oh God.
He's even got Fortress too for spin if he really wants to.
He kind of did snipe that too off of me. I was considering it. It wasn't as big of a deal as like Cloyster. Oh God, let me just get this out of the way. But I was thinking about Fortress because I drafted the Blade a little bit later after that.
I guess my main question marks are why Ribombi and why Regice.
I was thinking more like why Evire. He has Lando and Dragalge and he has Zard X as electric resist. I just don't know what Evire contributes. I don't know.
I mean, Electivire has like it gets access to elemental punches, EQ.
75 base power, like I don't know. I'm a little bit skeptical about that one. Like Evire is one of those Pokemon that looks really nice on paper, but then just doesn't really execute.
And it's like super cool because of Paul's Electivire in the anime.
Oh yeah, I guess that. I don't really watch the anime. I like that he's
oh
really
God, it's
Wincon
PU.
ready.
What the heck?
Huh?
Oh God, this Electivire's PU.
I'm telling you, it's not good.
It has a 123 attack. It's not terrible, but
like it's not the attack that lets it down. It's like he doesn't have like real hard hitting moves. Like Wild Charge is not ideal, and his bulk is not great either, and it's slow. Like his
I guess
coverage is just
that's why you only
moves.
scarf the thing.
Oh, I wouldn't even do that. Like if I had to use Evire, I'd probably use like Band, try to get some power out of it.
Huh.
At the very least. But I think the
Yeah,
first like half of his draft is really solid. Like up until Komodo, even Rabambe's a win condition. Like he really went hard on the win cons here, and he has the hazards to back it up.
Slurpuff too.
Yeah,
Slurpuff is another one.
Like he kind of had the same mentality as me, as just beating down. Whereas I focused on speed control and like weather, and wall breakers. He focused on the win cons. So I don't think, from what it is, his roster really works with me. It's just a few picks that he's probably not going to bring to a whole lot of games in my mind.
Yeah, they're like almost wasted roster spots, but it is what it is.
You got anything else that, like, in specific? Because I kind of talked in broader terms. You got anything in specific that you really like about this roster? I lose my voice.
Yeah, I think like you said, like there's just like he's got a lot of win cons. He's got a lot of threats, like up and down. I like some of the flexibility he has with some of the mons. Like Lando T is obviously the most flexible mon in the game.
Yep.
And it can literally do just about anything that he really wants it to. So I think he can take a lot of different routes with, which I think that's like one of the best things about draft leagues is like, yeah, you gotta.
And Lando's a Z too, so that's just like, that's really scary.
Yeah, he literally he could do anything he wants with Lando. But that said, I think once you kind of know what the Lando does, you can kind of then deal with it accordingly. But then the question is, what do you really know that Lando's going to be doing?
Yeah. I think he really took advantage of the fact that he could blanket check a lot of the draft with Lando T, and they just made the rest of the team offensive. Ice is like, that's kind of filler, I think, like the special wall, but I don't think it's going to be brought to a whole lot of games. Oh, Electivire Z. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, so I guess he believes in Electivire.
He believes in Electivire.
I suppose. Let's see.
Anything else you want to comment about this?
I'm looking around at the other teams. I mean, I don't know if we have time to go into all of them in detail, though. That's the only thing. So,
sorry, my headphones fell out. What'd you say?
I think we might be how we do fixed for time, by the way.
We're fine, but I do want to. First of all, I want to go ahead and like take some time to rank the teams and compare our rankings for the rosters.
Yeah, sure.
So let's just count. I'm gonna go ahead and like quickly type it in here. Which ones we covered? We covered Phil. We covered you, me,
your division. Phil, so Peter, Franklin, and Patrick.
Pat. Yeah. Was that all?
No, we covered Lauren.
One more. Lauren, right?
Lauren, and we also covered Lando T team, which
that
is
was Shield. So
Shield, yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and pause the recording for a second while we collect our thoughts and just do a fun little ranking. It's not gonna mean much. I feel like if you watch the video all the way through up to this point, you know what our thoughts are on the rosters. So yeah, I'm gonna pause in just a minute.
Wait a minute, did we just like completely disagree on stuff?
Yeah, no. Okay, so we got yours is way more organized than mine, bro. I just kind of listed them out. And yours has like the full, okay, your list is better in terms of organization. So so you picked Lauren as the.
We should get the call back on the recording.
I did just now.
Oh, okay, great, cool.
So let's start from the bottom. We interchanged between. Oh, where did I put Peter? Oh, I spelled Wynette's wrong. I put Peter like more in the middle. You put him dead last. So what about his team really irked you?
Yeah, so and that's actually kind of funny. So I would have put myself around where you put me actually. But anyways,
really? I thought it was being kind of harsh, putting you like.
I've become a lot more negative on my team, but probably think
this is just about the draft, not the player. So
yeah, fair enough. But so my reasoning for putting Peter down there was not to bag on him, or anything, but it's just like I don't know. I'm not 100% sold on just like Altaria and Magnezone, the Altaria Magnezone Manaphy. I don't know. I'm just not really sure.
You're not sure if it's
How
going
I
to carry him with the rest of his
Yeah,
picks?
I'm not really sure. Just because I feel like something that we did mention was that it's very predictable to kind of have an idea who's going to be the Scarfers on his team to have an element of speed control.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. I feel like to me, I felt like it was the one of the rosters that had it was between him and Pat in terms of like
I put
I
Pat
mean
dead last, bro.
it was between him and Pat for me because like I mean of the rosters that we looked at here, those are probably the ones that had the most quote unquote holes.
Yeah, I think I put him too high actually now that you explained that. I just kind of identified more like glaring weaknesses and the people below him
Yeah.
or like
And yeah.
not inconsistencies like synergy flaws more like. To me
Mhm.
his team wasn't too offensive. It just lacked a whole lot of speed. And I think I was kind of carried away by like the Manaphy pick because that is
Yeah.
intimidating. Despite what I said before about like the one threat carrying, um,
Yeah, I
he
mean, not
might
to
have been
say
too
that
high on my
Manaphy's his
list.
only threat by any means, but like,
And
it's just that, like I'm not.
I kind of was sold on the
Yeah,
Mag Altaria a little bit, especially in draft. You weren't. That's fine.
yeah, but that's kind of yeah. And then I think we kind of have a similar consensus about Pat's team. I mean, it's not like it's bad. It's just that
Uh, yeah. To me, Pat's team just kind of felt like he was the one with the least thought put into it. No offense to
mm,
him, but
I guess.
we also put
I guess.
Phil really similar.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I feel like Phil kind of got put in that position because of certain snipes, but
Yeah, I think Phil kind of got caught up in like the whole sniping thing and then trying to get back to the people who sniped him. And then he kind of like tried to put something together at the last few picks as well. Like the
yeah, I mean, like
Gigalit and the Archeops was just kind of like, ooh.
yeah, and I think to be fair, I think the at least in like my personally, this is my kind of strategy for it. I mean, obviously, it's not the best,
Hmm.
but it's like drafting flexible mons just makes so much makes life so good
Yeah.
in terms of drafting personally. But yeah, I think that kind of I think we that kind of rounds out our bottom tier. I'm curious what you got to say about my team.
So the last thing I
I,
got to say about Phil's before we end that
oh
is I
yeah,
also another thing that really influenced my decision making there was the hazard game is not gonna go well for him, dude. He's gonna get buried by other like, for example, shit. What was the one team? I'm already forgetting stuff. Like, where is that one team? I put him near the top too. The
is
Lawrence
it
team.
Lawrence team the in division team, right?
Yeah, Lawrence team is gonna run roughshod over him. That's my prediction. If it comes time for them to battle, like I think he's got pressure of his own. I see where he was going, but he gets pressure too easily at the same time. So that's why I put him near the bottom. So your
Yeah, I'm
team
actually
suffered.
yeah.
Oh wait, go ahead.
Oh yeah. I agree. Go on without my team.
So the thing with your team is that individually your mons that you picked were not bad. It's just that I'm not convinced that the Volcarona is gonna carry you through some of the picks that you agreed were less effective, like the Amoongus. I'm also not really sold on like the TR mini roster you kind of tried to build in the middle with like
Yeah.
and then like the Hitmontop just wasn't the best spinner for your team. You just kind of sniped it off of me because I sniped you twice in a row.
I mainly just did that for fun.
Yeah, like this isn't a super serious. This is not the GBA. Like we can mess around here to an extent and still be competitive. But
Oh yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
that was and not, it's in the end. I just felt the other teams were better or less glaring in terms of weaknesses or like inconsistencies in terms of synergy than yours.
Hmm.
Now that I'm looking
Yeah.
back on it, I could probably switch you. Like I could probably interchange you with Peter. Looking back on this, there's not a big
Yeah.
gap there by any means.
Yeah,
Um,
and I think and I think I kind of felt it a little bit from the first game against Luigi, just that
We're gonna
I don't
get
have a
there. I want to talk about that
yeah.
at the very end.
God
Um,
dang it. I feel like I definitely need to go to the free agent pool to tweak it a bit
I'd
in terms of
agree.
like, because I think sure, I kind of assembled a mini TR core in the middle, but yeah, I feel like that's some of my doubles play kind of influencing me a little bit. I was like, Trigger could kind of theoretically work, I guess, but
Yeah, you kind of try to patch up your speed problems in the end with some trick room, And well, so yeah, that's the main reasons.
Yeah,
So
that's fair.
let's talk about the top. This is where it gets more interesting because I put Franklin at the very top. So so what do you think about Franklin's roster? Why you put it on the like below me and Lauren?
So for me,
We'll talk about
I
Shield after him.
sure. I'm trying to think of my reasoning. My reasoning was that I guess maybe it's because I'm not really a hyper offense kind of guy. I
Mm-hmm.
like to play like bulky offense slash balance. I don't like stall though. Stall is dumb, but like so personally, I feel like he's not gonna. I feel like he has to be really on top of his predict game, like
Okay,
really on top of it. Like he doesn't have a whole lot of like safety nets
I
in
see what
case
you're
something
saying.
goes wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Which obviously it will, like, because people will counter team you, people will do all this stuff. So like, personally, I feel like when I don't know, this is maybe it's some of my personal playstyle bias kind of coming into play, but I just feel that he doesn't like if he's in a bad matchup, if something with a really good matchup comes in and has the coverage move to beat his switch in, oh god, there could be bad times coming.
Hmm.
But then again,
That's interesting.
he's kind of trying to do that in the other direction too. So it can work really well. But I just feel that there's not too many safety nets. That's kind of my kind of feeling. But then again, I'm kind of inserting myself if I were to use this team personally. But
Yeah.
nah.
For my picks, I really tried to separate any kind of like I just kind of will assume that the best possible play is employed for the means of judging the draft. I so you mentioned how like the team doesn't have a whole lot of switch-ins. The reason I put at number one for me is I feel like it can adapt well enough with the roster that you don't really need to rely on switch-ins to win games. The pressure is
Nah.
just very real. I just really resonated with the first half of his draft. Like the Tornadus, the Z Captain Tornadus, the Pelipper, the Keldeo, the Ditto.
It's not the Z captain, by the way. It's the Rotom.
Oh, the Rotom was a Z Captain, my bad.
Sorry, I know
I
you
meant
would have put
the
the.
it
I know
was
you would have put
I
made
would have put
Torn
I would have
the
put
Z
Torn as the Z
captain, but
Captain.
yeah.
The Quillfish really resonated with me too. The subtle like priority that's there in the back if things go to hell.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
so yeah, this is not a team that's gonna rely on switching into stuff. Cause I mean, judging by your own draft, I mean, I can tell that this is not the kind of team that would jive with you.
Yeah,
But
I would feel very uncomfortable using this team
like
personally.
I just kind of put myself in the process of like disregarding because I don't know anything about how Franklin plays, right? Or his skill
Yeah, I
level.
don't. Neither do I.
But and then separating myself from the team I have. I mean, regardless, I mean his roster is scary to go up against. Not necessarily because he can defend himself well, but because there's various ways in which he can adapt his team of six in the end to put the pressure.
Yeah,
The Metacham, the priority with the Metacham, the Rain, the Ditto, so you can't like reverse offense him. That was a good pick on his part, and he really
yeah.
allowed him
Actually, not.
flexibility
Yeah.
later on. So that was just my
Mm-hmm.
reasoning. So we kind of put Shield like similarly. I put him second. You put him fourth. You put him below.
Because for me, it was kind of like there's kind of a split between Shield and Phil in my rankings.
All right, so there was a clear gap there in caliber.
There's a bit of a gap. I mean, I thought about separating them into tiers,
I was considering
but
making Lauren first, honestly, but
like to me, like there's a cluster of you, Franklin, Shield, and Lauren kind of together. But anyways, let's go to Shield's team real quick. I think just having Lando T is just really good.
yeah,
But I think the supporting cast around it, like literally, look at those Force 4 mods. And those four are probably going to be literally on every single time he goes out to battle.
yeah. So then, what puts him
I'm
at
willing
fourth
to
and
bet.
not top three for you?
For me, it's, if anything, it's actually, he doesn't have much else besides those four.
All
In
right,
terms
so you
of
feel
like
like he's predictable and relies on the first four threats, basically.
yeah, because like the first four are like, God, I'm scared. But then
Mhm.
beyond that, it's like, I mean, like the other members of the roster are like, they don't have the same kind of pop as the early guys.
The splash ability,
But
yeah.
like the splash ability, like they're very, if they're slotted in, you have an idea of what they're gonna do.
Okay.
That's kind of my feeling. But then still the first four are so scary. It's just like, oh god. Like
Kamala's Z move is not allowed, right? Just clarifying that.
well, it's not. Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, just clarifying. So he says, yeah, that's not. That's
The
obviously why.
the meme Z move.
I'm surprised. I maybe would have even picked Z Cartana on his team over Z Lando. I would want to
I
take
actually
advantage
like,
of
yeah,
Lando's
Cartana. Oh my
defensive
god, Cartana would be so scary.
as Z. Yeah, but I thought his roster. I mean, again, like it's just different. You put different weights to stuff. You think he's over relying
Yeah.
too much on the first four? I think that's gonna pull him through. At least like he
Alright.
can play well. That's what he needs.
Yeah, I mean, I think the season itself will speak to that, of course, but fair enough.
I'm trying to think. Okay, so what puts Lauren at number one for you?
Oh, Lawrence team. Oh man.
Let me go and see what puts him below Incineroars and Charizards for me. Let me go back.
Yeah, well, like I guess let's start with that. Well, why for you? Why did you knock Medichams behind Incineroars? I guess.
Mostly I felt like he wasn't really I feel like he does have like the webs, but I feel like he's gonna have a harder time in execution, setting up the game plan that I feel he's going for, which is sort of a redundancy core between like the Gengar and the Blacephalon, the Mienshao and the Mega Lopunny. With Gengar and Blacephalon, it works a little bit better, but if he goes for that kind of team comp, he's really opening himself up to opposing ground types like the Landorus's, the Crocodile. Crocodile was drafted. Landorus, Therian. His Ariados, you know, I like that he went for webs, but I don't feel he's going to get that off as often as he would like, and a lot of his team really appreciates that. And like you said, I think he could have picked a different Mega if he was going to be set on, especially because it's the Z Captain, Z Mienshao. Like you said, the Mienshao Lopunny, like I get the idea of the redundancy core, but for that one, I feel like it's a little too redundant.
Yeah.
They get stopped by the same stuff a lot of the times. Another thing I wasn't really jiving with a whole lot was I get the idea of the Noivern as the blitzer, but again, that's one of those things that might not translate as well in execution. So
Yeah.
that's about it, really. It was just that the other two I thought were better. I saw more potential there. I would want to face this team over Franklin's. Is just what I'm saying.
Fair. I'm actually more scared of Lauren's team for a few reasons.
Okay.
You mentioned Noivern's the blitzer. I actually disagree there. Lopunny and Blacephalon are pretty darn fast.
I see. Okay, I'm sleeping on Blacephalon. I forgot the thing was
Like
fast too.
those things are
And
scary.
The Lopunny.
Yeah. So actually, part of the reason I got Gliscopod is because I'm so scared of Blacephalon.
Well, if that's the case, then that kind of removes the point of the Noivern then. So that's even a more useless pick. I don't know. I wasn't jamming with Noivern in general. But...
Yeah, that's fair. But my thinking with his team is that he has like two bulky options that give me the safety net. He has the I guess
Blastoise and the Steelix?
the Blastoise, actually no, technically three. Zapdos, Blastoise,
Zapdos
Steelix.
is a good pick.
So like
I drive with Zapdos.
But to me, like
he was still third, yeah.
Yeah, I guess if anything, like his would be the kind of team that I think I can definitely jive with if I were to take his roster for whatever reason. Like it's like it looks like I think to me I do agree. Like I agree. The biggest knock on his team is Lopunny, Mienshao being very redundant, especially Z Captain in your Mecha. I think that's a little weird.
Z Espeon's kind of weird too.
Yeah, Z
Espeon,
Espeon,
Z Gengar or something like that.
Yeah, I would have liked Z Gengar too, just because Gengar has so many options.
Z Noivern even would have made it like useful. It would have been able to kill something. So yeah, go on.
But yeah, I mean that's kind of my thinking. Otherwise, I'm like, God. But actually, now that you do also bring a very solid point that the hazard game is not quite going to be there too, because he has to bring some pretty mad mons in order to get up hazards.
Yeah, like he went really hard on like the hazard removal discouragement. He's at the Gengar and the Bisharp. and I feel like he's not taking as much advantage of that as he in the later picks. Maybe he got sniped or something. Maybe he wanted to pick Fortress or something.
Yeah, like I think if there was one thing to change from this team, it would be swap Mienshao out for like a decently threatening hazard setter.
Quillfish would have been kind of boss on his team.
I feel like you're a little too high on Quillfish, but whatever.
Okay, I'm hyping Quillfish a little too much.
You are pretty high on the Quillfish, I'll admit, but maybe I'm too low on the Quillfish. We'll see how that
for
thing.
tier 4, that's a solid. It's kind of what I felt about Executor. Like I found out that thing was tier 5. I picked that over another tier 4. Eggy's where's Eggy jived with my team.
Yeah, okay, good, yes, and
right,
yeah. So
anything else you want to say about Lauren?
But, yeah, but Lauren's team, I felt like was. I feel like his team had a slight. Also, I think my thinking that kind of edged his team over yours was that he straight up beats you in the speed game.
Yeah, that's true.
He does beat you in the speed game. The Lopunny, the Blacephalon, and the Noivern, even though Noivern's not. I had to keep
weather up to outspeed, and even
yeah, you need your weather. Yeah, that's kind of but I mean. But then, nonetheless, like you assembled a very, very good roster, top to bottom.
Yeah, I'll let you talk about my roster.
Sure. I mean, I think the main knock is obviously the Kabutops, but that's part of getting sniped.
Yeah, the Kabutops was kind of like I need a spinner.
Yeah, but oh my god, if you had gotten Cloyster there, I'd be like, okay, can we just hand him the trophy already? I think he's won. But anyways. Yeah, it's definitely 100%. Like, I think your team probably has the most flexibility so far out of the ones that I've noticed. You can do the most stuff with what you got.
And obviously, are you talking strictly in terms of like weather or what else?
Variety of strategy.
Okay.
I think a lot of those options. I mean, it helps when you have Mew. It helps when you have. Like the two weather guys and like a lot of the mods can run very, very viable sets. Yeah, to me, like it just I think in the speed department it kind of hurt a little bit, so that's why I knocked Lauren's team a little bit higher than yours. But to me, between Lauren, you, Franklin, Shield, it's very, very close in terms of roster strength. Very close.
Yeah, I really use Mew as a crutch later on, like. Especially for some of the more... I mean, I guess I did draft the Blade, but as soon as I drafted Mew, I was feeling myself because, like, Mew shuts down, like, all of the common fighting types, like the Mega Medichams, the Lopunny...
God, freaking Medicham,
man. Yeah, so I was feeling myself when I got Mew. I think that was my best pick, honestly.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of kicking myself. I probably should have drafted Mew, but whatever. That's a whole nother. That's whatever. So I think we've been hinting at it all episode, but I think
let's get to
time to get into that battle.
Okay, so let's get some context here. So we were PMing each other, right? And he was telling me your first game was against Luigi, someone who we not really know him for his battling skill necessarily. Let me just get the UBL. And he decided. He was talking all this loud about how he was gonna flex with some trick room and stuff. He sent me like imports, and I'm like, dude, no. I can even like. He can confirm that I told him just go standard and overwhelm him, but he didn't listen. So let's see the replay.
Oh god.
I'm gonna have to I'm gonna mute a little bit because I think I have my. Oh wait, no, I can play with the music off. I was afraid that it was just gonna play with the music on. So this is you can see Dan's team over here. Oh god, I do need to minimize because. Camtasia, I don't feel like restarting this recording to get the dimensions right. So let's just... I actually haven't seen this game in its entirety. I'm gonna go fast. I just skipped to the end, and I'm like, no, he didn't lose to Luigi. Granted, his team, it looks threatening.
Luigi's team matched us up pretty well against mine, to be fair.
We didn't cover his draft because he's not one of... he's not one of the standout players in my opinion, so we're going to cover him later. Just for time's sake. We don't want to spend 2 hours here.
I think we can cover... Yeah, I mean,
oh my god, dude. You got... That Hoopa...
Hoopa was a huge problem.
Yeah, see, the thing with single Trick Room is you gotta bring one, like, genuinely fast Pokemon to cover your bases.
And
You
I
got
think
all
that was the
slow.
biggest problem of this draft.
Yeah, you really wanted to stun. And
I've
it's
I
stun or
found
die.
I found that out very, very quickly.
It's stun or die, and he died, my boy. Oh god, he
Which
switched
is
the he switched the that Volcanion destroys you too. Oh my god. And that's one of the
so
things I don't like about Feeny. No reliable recovery.
yeah, so I think if anything it was is a bit of a problem that
It was a
yeah,
team
so
prep
I
issue.
yeah, it's an element of team prep, but at the same time I think yeah, I mean I could have played a lot better too, to be fair.
I
I was like,
guess, but I
crap.
just
I really felt like I was like climbing from a hole.
and the
Like,
HPAs didn't even. You were boasting about the Reuniclus, like, oh, it has HPAs. We about to flex, and he lived.
I was just like, oh my god, are you kidding me?
Does it have E speed? He keeps using protect.
He did not have E speed.
Oh god. I mean, it's still understandable that you switched out, but
Yeah,
sometimes happens.
when HP Ice failed to kill the Zygarde, I was like, crap.
It's a wrap, bro.
I don't think I can win anymore.
You didn't get destroyed, but you still lost a game that was like about you stunting. They
Yeah, I
don't
was
listen,
trying to
bro.
stun it, but unfortunately Luigi kind of had a feeling, but too bad, bro.
Hoopa C was such a threat to your team. Did
Hoopa
you
C,
did you
God,
not think it would bring it?
I wasn't sure.
Okay.
I wasn't sure. Um, but Hoopa C wasn't the mon I was super concerned with.
Which one was it?
I was a lot more concerned with Zygarde and Zygarde, Diancie, and Volcanion.
Like
Those
his
were the
whole
three.
team just kind of ranked. Like I don't know what you could have done really, even if you played better. He just had too many options to just get free
So
kills.
I think the biggest thing that stopped me from being able to come back was I let the choice band get knocked off because if you notice that first impression did 81%.
That's true. Yeah,
So like
you could have
basically
done something.
if I had played very very carefully with Golisopod, I could have came back. But
By
yeah,
just sapping.
yeah, I was like, but it was too little, too late by then. It was just like
Well, how were you gonna
yeah,
kill Cobalion though? Like
Cobalion. Yeah, I don't know what I was gonna do against Cobalion, honestly, but
you could have still like counted on a choke, but he also didn't play completely incompetently, and he just had the matchup all in his favor. So that's what you
yeah,
get for trying to stunt. That's the lesson.
yeah. I mean, it's okay. I'll play him again, and it'll be a fun rematch.
Yeah, I guess.
But anyways, I mean, I think at least but yeah, I mean, I think it was a good, it was a good, it was a fun match. I think I was able to kind of pull a few things out of pull a few things out of the hat to try to come back.
I
But
mean, I like the concept of HPS Reuni because that way you could probably have had something if you brought Volcarona. Although I guess
yeah,
Volcanion kind of does stop that a little bit.
Volcanion was a huge problem. Oh my god,
That
I
could be
don't have
like a Z Psychic target.
I don't have much for it besides Tyranitar, and Tyranitar doesn't want to switch in.
That's true. Yeah, Volcanion I thought was the biggest threat to your like roster in general. So
Yeah,
he
so
definitely had matchup, but you still tried to stun. You got bopped.
feels bad, bro.
All right, we're gonna end it there. Any final thoughts on stuff? Oh right, I was gonna. You know what? I may as well get this out of the way. I want to see Pat's game. Did you see it? This is
I did, but let me
because this is
let
between the team I ranked the lowest of the ones we reviewed and the highest. And I'm
yeah,
also
go
curious
ahead.
if
Oh wait,
Pat.
shoot, I have not seen this. Oh god, wait, this is gonna be the first time for me to see it too. Let's
Okay, so
go.
Pat's got the Darmanitan. I actually think I've played him like once. I dropped him on his neck, but it was just like standard OU. Okay, but that's
Yeah,
Mega
I'm just
Scizor.
watching too. I'm watching.
I
Huh.
hope for his sake that's a defensive Scizor. Otherwise,
That knockoff did a lot.
that Weavile is a threat. I mean,
That
obviously he
knockoff
scarfed
did a
Darmanitan,
lot.
but after some damage, like yo, this is what I'm talking about with Franklin's team. Yo, look at his team. Look at that liquidation. Well, he's gonna die, but oh, he didn't even go for Earthquake. My God.
Is that Tank Chomp? Yeah, it's Tank Chomp.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't know how this is gonna go. I think Franklin has got this. Oh, he knocked off the Golbat. Yeah, it's just like it is Bandit too. Um, that Toxic doesn't matter. Like he has too much pressure.
I don't like Surf Keldeo, man.
I don't either, but I also don't like the Brave Bird play because he just Toxic. Then yeah. Oh, and he BP'd. Pat's not playing well. He's playing really linearly. Scald Pelipper. I don't like that. Pat could still win, actually.
You're a little bit ahead of me, but I'm like,
I don't understand. Okay,
wait,
what is
what?
Franklin doing?
Wait, what?
Uh, Franklin, buddy? He can roost. Franklin? What? Oh my god! What is he doing? He brought out the Weavile. Oh, he got okay. Never mind. He got dropped. What was this?
Wait! What?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know where you were.
I'm at turn 19, but I'm like, wait.
Franklin just like threw.
Wait, I'm confused.
Did you just finish the game?
No, I'm like at turn 21. What? Huh?
Oh, I forgot to put this over. Part of Pat's
Holy
team
crap! Mega
call.
Scizor is coming through for him.
How do you lose to? Yeah, see, I don't like his sets. I don't like his plays either. Like the whole like, I feel like on his kind of team, he would have benefited from like a nice offensive Pelipper instead. He also now that I think about it, he's on no hazards. Like the Quillfish
Mega Scizor.
I was expecting some like spikes on the Quillfish at least.
Yeah.
He didn't use Ditto effectively. He sacked some mons for no reason. I still think he has a better roster.
Letting Scizor get a Swords Dance up was the biggest problem.
Yeah, and thinking that he could take it on with his Ditto. I don't understand that.
Wait, let me start from the beginning again, just because I'm trying to...
He should have preserved his Keldeo better and tried to combat it with Pelipper and Keldeo. There was no reason for him to be able to lose to a Scizor. So
yeah.
Well, at least I don't have to worry about him. I mean, if he's
I just feel like, oh god, Surf Keldeo.
Surf Keldeo, bro.
Yeah.
I was feeling the banded weave on the beginning, and then he just kind of dropped
the
ball with
his
Scizor
was
checks.
it banded? Was it banded?
That looked like banded damage with the on the.
Wait, I'm rewatching it right now.
On the Scizor? Well, actually, it was normal Scizor. So who knows?
Quillfish did make a pretty interesting appearance, but it didn't quite do as cool stuff as it did.
Boy,
I feel like he may have.
The dude had 4 Scizor checks, and he just sacked them all. He didn't play the long game. What were we gonna say?
I'm just trying to keep track of, because I didn't remember much from Weavile, honestly.
That was more in the beginning. Like I thought that was gonna be the threat that like if he had played around the Scizor better, like because he had to preserve his checks to weaken the Scizor and have like Weavile was his win con basically, in my opinion. Yeah, that was disgusting. Anything else you want to add, bro? Because I'm not watching it.
I don't understand why he. Oh wait. I'm gonna pause it there. Why did he bring in Nihilego?
Oh, I already X'd the game out. I already X'd that shit out, bro. Oh, Pat, yeah.
As in, like, no. He could have brought in Scizor, BP'd the Keldeo.
They both made awful plays.
Instead of sacking Nihilego like that.
Like, I kind of went through it really fast and then remembered stuff afterwards. But I bet if I went play by play, like, that would just be painful. That would be its own video.
What?
Like, I don't even feel like watching any of these other games now.
Oh, come on, man. Let's
time. After the week's over.
By the way.
Huh?
You're going to kill in before you catch that L against Peter.
I mean, I put him pretty low on my. Wait, you put him low, so I
Yeah,
guess it'll
I
be.
put him lower than you did.
Well, who knows what'll happen there? I'll guess I'll try and build tomorrow. I haven't done any prep for that, so I could very well lose. But oh well.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna end it here. It's been like an hour and a half.
Alrighty, sounds good.
Yeah, we'll be back to do more. Next time we'll be doing more like game reviews after the week's over. We did some now as a preview, and to see Daniel lose to to Luigi.
Thanks, bro.
I will see you guys next time.